Alright guys, it is time for a live showdown between Norsca and the Empire. So as far as army goes, we're going to be going relatively wide. We do have a front line of marauders. I think it's all going to be just standard marauders, which actually trade relatively efficiently against state troops. With a couple chevrons, they got 35 melee attack, 30 melee defense, definitely not pushover. So they're going to be pressuring the front line here, and we're going to be taking some cannon shots very, very quickly. It looks like my opponent does have some heavy cav, so he has a Zintler's Right Guard, Demogryph Knights. We have some spears over here, so hopefully we can kind of screen those guys out and do pretty well. For his main line, it looks like he has some great swords here, which will do pretty well. And yeah, you can see he's coming in pretty hot here, so we're going to pull these guys back, get these guys over. And the Beast of Tashnar, oh, I accidentally deployed them way back there. So we're going to be pushing those guys in, and looks like he's using some sort of a buff right out of the gates here. Maybe he's going to be pulling back, so we're going to just play very, very defensively, wait for a Fate of Buna, which is definitely very, very good here. So who does he have for his lord? He does have the Emperor Karl Franz, so let's go ahead and swoop in here. Just kind of screen him out in the front while keeping our army moving forward. Definitely got to keep going because he does have that Hammer of the Witches. So the Beast of Tashnar, let's just kind of circle and keep going. And we do have this. So what does he have? He has the Zintler's Reichsguard as well as Demogryph Knights. And it looks like he used Barona's Time Warp to get some sort of a speed buff. So maybe he's trying to escape or was thinking about doing a timing push, but then changed his mind here. So kind of keep everyone going and just rolling. And here comes the Fate of Buna, definitely going to be doing some serious damage right there. And it looks like he might be coming in for a charge. So let's go ahead and get some Berserkers, because we do have the Wolves. We'll pull those guys over the top, get these guys over the back here, and this should be a pretty good engagement here, especially if we can get this Light Wizard. So we're going to go ahead and get the Light Wizard here. We do get that debuff on him. Come on, Wolfric, get in there, get that booty. And that Fate of Buna doing some huge damage. And anytime you engage versus Norsca, you have to be aware of that. Like, it's going to be a little bit trickier to escape. So Fighter Dies is going to be popped here. And the Beast of Tashnar, let's get you guys up and see if we can like pin down some of these knights. The Frost Fluffs need to keep going. We're doing some really, really good damage. And man, somehow that wizard is able to get away. So let's see if we can loop around the top and get some good work. So those guys are going to keep going. We'll get these guys going up here in the front. All's going well in the land. He has gotten some really, really huge damage against my caster though, which is a little bit tricky. So Beast of Tashnar, let's see if we can head off this this caster here. So go. We'll get Wolfric going as well right there. And we do have the Angry Pirate Bow. So let's go ahead and pop that right down the formation. Keep going, and let's see if we can force a fight right here with all of his casters and stuff. Great. So we get the pirate ship going down the mainline formation. Ooh, that just wrecked the swordsman. That was a thing of beauty. Great, great. So these guys go here, Berserkers can go here, Spearmen can go up and around the side, and yeah, looks like he did get our Death Caster, but again, we also got his caster. We have his Knights in a very, very bad situation, and honestly, I got a Fate of Buna and a Spirit Leech off, not complaining. We're going to keep pushing around here. Well, frickin' boys can go after Karl Franz, and the frontline engagement is underway. I don't know why they stopped moving. For some reason, they just decided to kind of chill out a little bit. But his cannon just getting some massive value here, and let's see if we can take an angle of pursuit and perhaps cut off his Knights. And I don't think we have Hunter of Champions for another, like 30 or 40 seconds here, but we do get the Demogryph Knights, which is going to be really big. So the Spears can keep pushing here. Frontline engagement's underway. Berserkers are taking the secondary charge, and let's see if we can kind of loop around. Let's actually pull these guys away, because those Flagellants will actually do very well here. So the Beast of Tashnar, we're going to pull them around the back as well. Let's form wall, kind of a shield wall here, and the Demogryph Knights are pretty much done for. So we're going to pull these guys back into the front, get these guys going the Great Swords. We definitely want to get the Famir. And Mistalkers are very good in this matchup because they do have stock, so they're not going to take a ton of damage on the approach. Let's see if we can kind of muck up these halberds. I think that would be good. So Skin Wolves, yeah, let's get them in the front because he's probably going to charge through his main line. We'll get Wolfric in there as well. We'll get these guys pushing in. And yeah, we might be able to pull these guys away and form a bit of an opening here. I think that would be really, really nice. Good, so centerline pocket, we're going to just get onto the Great Swords here, and let's get the Wolves and see if we can pull some fancy moves and get through the middle. Wolfric can go up here, these guys can go here. Come on, jockeys, get in there. Feast, feast my hounds. So the hounds are going to push in and potentially feast. Beast of Tashnar, we can get you guys kind of just parked over here. Yeah, let's get you guys kind of intercepting. We'll just get some Marauders and have them help out. Should be okay against the Reichsguard. So we do get into the back here. Wolfric is in good shape, so we can get the Angry Pirate Ship here in just a moment. So let's go ahead and do that right down this formation. Pop Fighter Die to buff all these troops in the front line, and I think it's time to have a duel with the Emperor. So that's going to be fun. We should be in good shape here, and the Angry Pirate Ship does some really, really good damage. So let's force you guys through. Fight's looking pretty good. Beast of Tashnar do kind of absorb that charge. Of course, it's not like going, exceptionally for them, but our great weapons are getting into the back line. I feel like we have a decent grasp on this game now, but ooh, that damage we're taking is not good. So let's go ahead and pull back, get on the Sterling's Revenge, pull the Hounds back as well, so we can pull them up and then right through there. A little bit of shift-click movement, always a good time. Beast of Tashnar can keep chasing the Zintler's Reichsguard, and now that we're in decent shape, we can go ahead and re-engage the Emperor. Definitely going to be fighting a little bit dirty, not going to be giving him that square fight he wants. We want to be checking for routing units, and his focus fire with the cannons this game has been really good. He's been on point with that, but I think we're going to get Karl right now. We traded casters very early, which I'm always happy about. That's fine. Norsca is definitely down to just go fisticuffs here. So we're going to wrap around the back line. Let's get these guys like so, and yes, right like that. Spearmen can keep chasing the heavy cav, just trying to muck them up. Let's get the Marauders on top of the hammer and everything. And I think right now that's pretty much going to be game, set, match. So we're going to be advancing up onto the Hammer of the Witches to shut it down. That initial engagement was definitely pretty good. And also my apologies for not showing you guys like the army selection screen. The loading in was pretty quick, and of course he did lock in, relatively quick. So we're going to be going after Hammer of the Witches. Wolfric should be able to shut that down. Bounce of power pretty heavily in my favor here. We're going to be using the Maws of Savagery. Maws of Savagery also pretty good against Empire because they do have some armor, so against Reichsguard and Knights of the Blazing Sun, they have a little bit of durability. The infantry fight going pretty well. Berserkers, of course, doing their job. 66 kills, very good at taking out state troops. The Flagellants fighting to the bitter end, and I feel like Flagellants might be a decent pick against Norsca, simply because you can use them to hold for quite some time. And man, that's it, boys. That was quite a cockfight. So yeah, essentially you can use the Flagellants to hold your front line, get a lot of value out of your powder. But yeah, I guess I'll have to take a look at the army breakdown screen here at the end. He does have a couple unbreakable troops. He has the Sigmar Sons, as well as this group of the Tattersouls over here. That is going to be all she wrote. So well played to my opponent. Quite a fun game there. We got a nice little thematic duel there between Karl Franz and Wolfric, which is always a pretty good time. Yeah, Marauders on the front line. So this is actually the build for my Norsca guide. I 100% recommend just going super wide against the Empire. You get the Marauders, you kind of space them out. You have the Berserkers saturated in the second line behind them because you want to maximize the durability of the Berserkers because they are very squishy. So if the Marauders take the charge and then the Berserkers just follow up, and even if they just like kind of blob on and latch onto the back, they're going to be pretty efficient there over the long battle. And they also don't take the charge from like Greatswords and Sigmar Sons, who actually don't have pushover charge bonuses. On top of that, I do bring one group of Marauder Champions just in case they go Greatsword heavy, because Marauder Champions plus Miststalkers are very efficient at dealing with Greatswords, and honestly, that pretty much covers your bases. Wolfric, on the horse, he's fast, he's mobile, but he's also doesn't fall victim to the issues that Throg does. If I had Throg, for example, Hammer of the Witches would have just been pounding him. The missile units, he would have been a very easy target. He would have gone down relatively quickly. I think Karl Franz could have given him the business as well. I mean, yes, Throg will beat Karl in a straight up duel, but all those factors kind of put into one equation there. I think it's a little bit risky. The Hounds, the Maws of Savagery. So I feel like you need something to keep the heavy cav, because he did have that heavy cav and he was looking to get a free charge in the beginning with Barona's Time Warp, but once he saw what I had, thankfully we were able to fend him off and push him back. But Maws of Savagery have pretty good armor, better armor piercing values than standard armored skin wolves, so they're a little bit optimal in that respect. And anytime someone does come in, you let them charge your infantry or your spears, and then you countercharge with the the Hounds as well as the Maws of Savagery, and it's really punishing because they're not really going to be able to get away. You guys saw my opponent had this really long retreat. He was having to fall back. It was like a constant stressor, and I think that was really good. I mean, one of the main reasons we were able to get the game. But despite the fact that he was very heavily compromised, my opponent did a very good job kind of fending off my my caster. He was able to focus my caster now with the hammer, and I believe Karl Franz got in there with that good old Galmaraz as well. So that was a little bit scary, but as far as my opponent's army goes, let me go ahead and take a look. I do like the Greatsword pick. I feel like it's something that can catch Norsca off guard, because Greatswords can beat Berserkers as well as Marauders. I think they beat Berserkers. I'll have to do some testing with that. But let me go ahead and jump out here, and we'll go ahead and put together an Empire army that I would recommend. So we're going to go ahead and jump back here and go into the custom battles. All right, so if I'm playing Empire against Norsca, let me see what I'm going to be looking at here. The Halberds are actually something else to consider too, because they have that charge defense against all now, which is crazy. I'm a big fan of Volkmar the Grim. I think he's really good. I think he can get away with Boris as well, up on an Imperial Griffin. I mean, you have so many options, but for now, let's just go with Volkmar. He's always pretty fun. I really do like the combat builds against Norsca. Benedict, miscast chance, I guess we could cut that just to kind of save some money. You always want the Jade Griffin, very, very important. Witch Hunters are pretty good with accusation, can kind of just shoot at your boy there. And for magic, let's just go a little bit safe and just get the Earthblood. So we're going to get that. We're going to get the Earthblood and the Regrowth, and you definitely want to get the Power Stone. And good. So you can get a decent little kind of core of Greatswords and just ride them with Volkmar the Grim. They're going to be a terror for Norscan troops. They're going to suddenly start to trade effectively with Marauder Champions, with Volkmar, and of course you do have healing, so you can usually trade relatively evenly. Aside from that, you can get a couple. Are we on Ultra Friends? We are on Ultra Friends. I was like, what treason is this? I was like, man, have I just gotten better at this game? We're going to get a couple Halberds as well. I think they're going to be pretty efficient versus the monsters. Hammer of the Witches isn't a bad choice, honestly. It can do pretty well against Skin Wolves and things like that. You can go Hammer if you want. I feel like Pistoliers might not be bad either. So I do like the Heavy Cav. I think that the Heavy Cav are pretty much going to be a staple. You can get the Royal Altar of Griffites, and then just to kind of cut the fat a little bit, we can slim down our army here. On top of that, I do like these Antlers Reichsguard quite a bit. We want to get Pistoliers. I feel like they might not be bad versus Berserkers and Skin Wolves and things like that. Yeah, I kind of like the Pistolier pick. I feel like that could be a little bit fun. So this is just, there's probably 10 different Empire armies I could think of right now. So, that would be good here. So maybe we cut one of these Halberds. We could even get a couple spears, spearmen with these shields or whatever in the front, and just have a combination of the great swords and those guys. Halberds there to support or be in the front line against monsters, whatever. Zenith's Reichsguard are going to be charging infantry. The Royal Altar of Griffites can tear apart, their large targets. Volkmar, of course, is going to be hard to deal with. Pistoliers can, you're going to keep the Pistoliers in this matchup. You're going to be keeping them like on top of your heavy cab because you don't want to really kind of cut them loose until you deal with your opponent's, hounds. And basically the Zentless Reichsguard and other troops are going to be designed to do that. So, but once they're free, Pistoliers can just gun down Berserkers. They can kite. They can, charge skirmisher units in the back line. I feel like this might be a little bit of might be a decent build. Something we'll have to try out. I haven't played the matchup too much from the other side. So anyways, very well played my opponent. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that live showdown. And we will see you guys next time.